Part of me wants to call this a top 10 list because that's what seems to get most of the views on my channel. For this video, I'm bringing to you the latest wave of Star Wars The Black Series action figures. This is Phase 3, Wave 6, and it consists of Kanan Jarrus, Ahsoka Tano, and Luke Skywalker. I'm going to go through all these. Part of me wants to rate them in order from my least favorite to most favorite, but I think part of me wants to go in order, just their numerical order, 19, 20, 21, because all of these are numbered, which that weird, strange part of my brain really loves that they order these. It's arbitrary. It's an arbitrary number, but I like it. I do. So first up is Kanan Jarrus. Kanan Jarrus is actually my favorite figure from this entire line. He comes from Star Wars Rebels. That's where he got his debut. He's also got his own comic, which is fantastic. And he also has a book based on him and his crew. I think it's called Rebel Dream, Rebel Dawn, something. Having been based on a cartoon character, they made him more realistic than a stylized animation, but he doesn't really rely on having to look like a person, whereas like when you look at a Han Solo action figure, like, yeah, it kind of looks like Harrison Ford. No, that doesn't look like Harrison Ford. This one, it looks like Kanan Jarrus, because Kanan Jarrus doesn't exist outside Rebels. And Rebels is a great cartoon. If you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. The first season's a little rough to get through. It's a little cheesy, it's a little kiddie, but it gets a lot better towards the end of the first season. And season 2 was fantastic. So let's get into what I like about this figure. First of all, likeness, being that he's not based on anyone, spot on. Absolutely love him. Secondly, his accessories. I can't think of one thing that he doesn't come with that I wish he did. And the stuff that he does come with is perfect. Whoops. He comes with his blaster pistol, and it does holster, which is great. Although the end of the blaster does tend to get caught down here. So be careful when you pull it back out, because it'll get caught. The second thing is his lightsaber. Now, just like every other lightsaber in the Black Series figures, the blade does come off to give him the unignited look. He does have a little loop here to peg it on, but there's actually no place to peg it on onto his belt because, and this is my favorite thing, just like in the cartoon, Kanan's lightsaber actually splits apart into two pieces. One half goes on the front, the other half goes on the back. And I absolutely love that figure because he's a Jedi in hiding in Rebels. So he doesn't like to just carry around a lightsaber, but he still wants it. So I absolutely love it, and I love that they could figure that out in this toy. They did a great job with this. He's got standard articulation. He's got, 100% all the way around on his shoulder, and it comes out okay. He has a single articulated elbow, and that sucks. I wish it was a double articulation. He's got almost 90 degrees, but when you got a lightsaber on a character and you want him to hold it in two hands, not having double jointed elbows kind of sucks. He does have a swivel at the elbow too, so you can get a pretty good range of motion out of his arms. He has a swivel on his wrist, and it does move in and out like so. It's really hard to show you on here. He has a diaphragm joint, and his leg moves pretty far forward, not so far back. This leg kind of sucks because it's actually hindered by the holster. This holster is actually pegged into his leg, or glued into his leg. I'm too afraid to pull it apart to see because I don't want to ruin the figure, but it does hamper the upper thigh swivel that the legs have because you can't really do much with this one. He has a double jointed knee, like pretty much every figure does, and it's weird to do double jointed knee but not double jointed elbow. I don't understand it. And then he's got the ankle rocker that's awesome. So that's about as far as his legs can go with both feet touching the ground. And I love that. I think the ankle rocker is probably my favorite point of articulation on any of these characters. You can really get some dynamic stances out of him. One of the things I like about Kanan Jarrus is he has sort of a Kyle Katarn vibe about him with the way he's dressed. And I really like that because Kyle Katarn from Dark Forces was one of my favorite characters in all of the EU. So I'm happy I have him. I'm happy they made him. And I know that people have a lot of wish lists for them to make. And it's kind of strange to me they decided to do a character from Rebels in the Black Series, especially now they had to give him like a stylized look. But I like that. I like that he looks like he belongs on my shelf with the rest of my figures without looking like he's from a completely different line. And that's really great. So my rating on this guy, 9 out of 10. And I feel weird giving anything a solid 10, but 9 out of 10 easily. He's got a couple little points of contention, like not having double jointed elbows, which I just wish they all had, and that's kind of why nothing will ever be perfect unless they have that. And then the hampering of this, and Ahsoka just fell down a little bit. And the hampering of the thigh swivel because of the holster. So that's kind of holding him back just a little bit. But really, this guy is not only my favorite figure from this line, but he's in the running for my favorite figure of the entire series so far. I like him that much. I really do. Don't fall over, Ahsoka. So that brings us to number 20. This is the 20th figure released in Phase 3. Which, I don't remember how many figures released in Phase 2, but I know it's way more than released in Phase 1. This is Ahsoka Tano. She debuted in the Star Wars The Clone Wars movie, which takes place sort of before Star Wars The Clone Wars cartoon, but there are actually a couple episodes of that cartoon that take place before the movie. It's very confusing, but on the official Star Wars website, they have a chronological order listing of all the episodes, and I highly recommend watching it. And I feel like it's the best thing to come out of the prequel. Ow, I bit my tongue. I really do feel like it's the best thing to come out of the prequels. Ahsoka was Anakin Skywalker's apprentice in there, and in Star Wars Rebels, which is actually where she's based off of, adult Ahsoka, she's sort of one of the de facto rebellion leaders. Not like the main leader, but she goes by the codename Fulcrum. And I really enjoy the way she looks. She's got some great posability and a great likeness. And again, she does benefit from the same thing that Kanan benefits from, where she's not really based on a real person. So it's easy to give her likeness a pass because she looks like a realistic version of a stylized cartoon character. So it's pretty easy to get a good likeness based on that. Articulation, kind of the same thing as Kanan. She has thinner arms, all the way around on here and all the way out. She has a single jointed elbow with the swivel on it. I didn't go over Kanan's head, but they all have the same head articulation, although hers is a little hampered by her little Togruta. I think that's what they're called, the species. You can correct me, I'm sure 100 people will correct me. Their head tails hamper her movement, whereas his don't really, but his stupid ponytail does. She has a diaphragm joint, just like most of the other figures, and she has wrist movement, twisting, and then also this one does this, this one does this. But you can get them in some pretty cool poses, especially if you want to put her lightsabers like behind her. They can come up like pretty high, so it looks pretty cool. One of the problems I have with this, and it's a similar problem to Kanan, is she has a fabric skirt around her waist here. It greatly hinders how wide you can spread her legs. For dynamic poses, don't think anything about that other than dynamic poses. It also hinders how far forward her leg can go and how far back her legs can go. And that kind of sucks, but that's how skirts work. They kind of hinder your movement like that, right? I don't wear skirts a lot, but I guess that's kind of how it works. She has double jointed legs, which are great. And she does have an ankle rocker on both ankles. But here comes the biggest problem with this figure. These tiny, tiny, tiny feet do not stand up. She falls over all the time. And it's super annoying. And the problem is, just like Kanan's, and just like most of the Black Series figures, her weapons are made of a very soft, rubbery plastic. And if she lands on the ground in a funny way, it'll bend them. And then they stay that way, and it's really hard to fix. You have to boil water, you have to reshape them. It's not worth it sometimes, and it just kind of sucks that she falls over so often, and that's my biggest complaint here. The other things are pretty good. She's got the perfect accessories. I can't imagine any accessories that I really wish that she'd come with. Her lightsaber blades come off, and her lightsabers do hook on to the sides of her skirt, and I really like that. It looks fantastic. She looks good standing there. You can get her some cool poses. So it's hard to not like this figure, but because of her tiny feet and her penchant to fall over, and her skirt does hinder her movement, I'm gonna give her probably an 8 out of 10. I just feel like those tiny feet they hurt her so much that I can't put her as anywhere close to my favorite. But 8 out of 10 I feel like is fair because she does look good. I can't deny that. She photographs well, and that's nice. So yeah, 8 out of 10. Let's see if I can put her down without falling over. just lean against the box. And last, and certainly least, we have plain vanilla Luke Skywalker. This is Luke Skywalker from his first appearance in Star Wars A New Hope in his Tatooine outfit. Really, this is a figure I would have expected from the first wave of the entire line. But this is like the most basic Luke Skywalker. This Luke Skywalker is so basic, he should be having a pumpkin spice latte and wearing Ugg boots. He kind of is wearing Ugg boots. That's how basic this Luke Skywalker is. He's okay. He looks like Mark Hamill enough from A New Hope. Like his likeness is decent, but let's just talk about the elephant in the room, and that's this stupid fabric coat. I know some people have said that it grows on them. I haven't had him long enough. Maybe it just hasn't grown on me yet. Maybe it will. I don't know, but I'm not a fan. I'm just not a fan. I do like the detail in his shoes and his pants. They got a lot going on there, but I feel like they could have just done a plastic shirt and been done with it. Maybe they wanted this to be fabric, but it looked weird having this not be fabric too, and they just made that design call. I don't know. It is what it is. Where this guy actually has problems for me are his lack of accessories. So he comes with a lightsaber and some binoculars that he uses, and that's it. Now the lightsaber blade can't come off, and it can peg onto his belt, but that's my biggest problem. I can think of two major things he should have come with, three things he should have come with and didn't. First, Stormtrooper belt. Han Solo came with a Stormtrooper belt. Why not this guy? Stormtrooper gun. This Luke Skywalker is very sorely missing a gun. He needs a gun. He looks so plain just holding a lightsaber. Number three, probably the helmet that he wore in the Millennium Falcon. The one that he put the blast shield down for the little, where he practiced. You know the one I'm talking about. I don't have to explain it. You get it. I'm sure I could think of more things. Those three things right there, like if they had come with this, it would have bumped my personal feelings of this figure way higher. But nope, we're just stuck with this stupid belt with the stupid binoculars that I'm pretty sure that's where they go, because I can't see any other place that they would obviously fit, but it's still kind of a pain to get them on the belt. And he looks okay standing there. He looks okay. He looks like a small Ken doll because of the shirt. But it could be a lot better. I guess that's his biggest problem. Let's go over the articulation. You can actually get his arms around in decent poses, and here's the weirdest thing. He actually has a double jointed elbow. How come him? Why him? Why? Why not Ahsoka? Why not Kanan? Why not most of the other Black Series figures? Why does he get? What makes him so special that he gets a double jointed elbow? Why? Why? He's got wrist articulation, same as pretty much everyone else. They both go like this, not like this. And they swivel. His leg goes not very far back, pretty far forward. He's got his double jointed knee. You can get in a pretty wide stance, and that wide stance would be a lot more fun if he had a gun to shoot people with in his wide stance. But that's as far as he gets with both feet on the ground. I know I didn't do this with Ahsoka, but that's mostly because her skirt hinders it. It's just not very far. It's not fun to look at. It's just kind of sad to look at. So it's pretty decent, but because of his lack of articulation and this stupid shirt, I'm giving him probably a 5.5. As far as likenesses go, it's decent. That's not the problem. He's got some great sculpting on his legs and on his boots, but the cloth cape or the cloth shirt, dumb. Lack of accessories, even dumber. I honestly feel bad that I paid $20 for that guy. So really, all in all, this is a pretty decent wave. Kanan's clear winner in my opinion. Belongs in everyone's collection. Ahsoka, good. You can't really go wrong, although watch out, she'll fall over for no reason. Luke Skywalker, honestly, unless you're just collecting them all, I feel like you could skip him. I really do. I know he's an iconic character from the movies, but he doesn't really add a lot, and his figure is pretty bland. So I feel like unless you're collecting them all, skip him. Alright, well that's been my review of Phase 3, Wave 6. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. I'll have some more videos coming up soon. We got a bunch of new Transformers figures. I'm going to do more Star Wars figures. I might review them one wave at a time, similar to this. If you like it, let me know. If you have any suggestions, comments, let me know. If you like, subscribe, whatever you want to do, do it. If you don't, don't. That's fine too. But thank you so much for watching. I've enjoyed doing this. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. Bye.